Once upon a time when I was in ninth grade in US history class, I was the annoying girl in the back row when we learned about US government, that I would raise my hand and be like, but if there's an electoral college, wow, how is that a democracy? And the teacher would just be like, oh, Colette, just shush, shush. It is what it is. And I'm like, but I don't like, to me, that just completely shut down any interest in our country, in politics. And I told myself I would never vote. I thought that it was a game that really wasn't made for the people. And then it wasn't until I left the States for the first time, which I went to the darling country of Sweden in about 2009. I au paired for a family, and I just was really attracted to Swedish pop culture and music and clothes and design and aesthetics. And I was just like, I have to get to this country. And living with a Swedish family, and I mean, they were the most incredible family ever. It was literally life changing. It's kind of like opposite ends, because when I had left the States, I was about 22. So I had just graduated photo school and I was living on my own that year. So it was like I had to pay rent and I was working, my jobs and hustling to save money to travel. And I was just like, why am I paying so much money for health insurance? Like all of these questions were just like, how is this fair? And why is this so much? And I don't understand. So then I go to Sweden and become enrolled in their universal health care and how I'm taken care of. I mean, even as I wasn't officially a Swedish citizen. I was, fell in the au pair visa. I was still entitled to, some of the social benefits. And that really kind of turned light bulbs and gears in my head as to, oh, this feels different. This looks different. And dare I say, like all the stereotypes of like growing up in the States, or, like, well, you work at McDonald's, so your life can't be that of value. But then like here in Sweden, it's like, well, no, they actually make a real wage and they're entitled to paid time off because it's a job and that's a human right. And moving back, I saw things in a different way and was just almost a little bit disheartened and sad about this illusion of democracy, that like we're not living it, like it's somewhere else and it's functioning in other places. I have to question and ask, like, I want to know why are things made the way they are? Why are they not working the way they're supposed to be? And how do we fix that? When you strip away countries, labels, clothing, we're all humans. Like we're all, like, from a humanitarian perspective, what I would want in this country is that we're all treated equal, That's, race, gender, class. The class system in this country, I think, is just, we're so off the rails. I feel like America, when you think about it, you're like, how is this country supposed to work? Because you think about like humans and tribalism, and you're supposed to identify with your group and be in your pack. But in America, we're just like the mixing bowl and like shoving us in and all trying to make it work. And I feel like, we're the shining city on the hill, or whatever that kind of quote or tagline is. But when you really look down, like, I feel like it's like the Wizard of Oz. Like you really have to kind of pull away the curtains and be like, but wait a minute, is this really fair? When health insurance, you paid into a health insurance and it was paid and done. And now you keep paying, but yet still nothing's covered. Like there's just this imbalance. What we're always kind of entitled to from like the 50s and 60s, like all of that is getting less and less and less. And then in people of my age, and we graduated when the stock market collapsed. It's just like, no, just work harder, And it's like, we're doing that, but we still don't have the same things that we're supposed to. So it's just like this fed up of, is this system really working? Is it working for us? Does it make it better? So I don't know. I'm just someone who comes from a place of everything could be better and constant improvement. My guilty pleasure, I love listening to the ladies talk on The View. And they were covering a story about how unpaid internships are going to be eliminated. And they all kind of sat around talking about that. And I was like, yeah, it's about time. Why Why would you hire some for free labor to take advantage of that, number one? And who can afford that? Who really can benefit from a free or an unpaid internship? Wealthy people. I feel that racism is a really big disease in this country, which I don't want to blame all the problems on it, but I feel that's a big core. What I don't deal with and what I can't wrap my head around is people who are prejudiced and racist. Like I'm pretty empathetic, but it's hard for me to put myself in their shoes. I think we still have to just be quiet and listen and hear those who have things to say from the unjust communities and underprivileged communities, and hear what I feel like maybe there is a degree where I've been whitewashed and I don't know the struggles that they have and the systemic problems that they have. So I feel like how I've been dealing with it is it's time to listen and educate yourselves. We've been put on a pedestal and like set to kind of like a higher regard or higher standard. Actually, we're not as cocky as we need to be, and maybe we need to catch up with the rest of the world. The individualism, like that's something that we really pride ourselves on. But at the same time, I feel right now in this moment, are we going to shoot ourselves in the foot with it? Is it going to be our own poison that we have to drink? When I think this is the right time and moment in history to ask this question exactly and have these types of conversations. I feel that's what we're missing. Like, when tensions are so high and we're so divided, and even going back to what I just said about, I can't put myself in someone else's shoes of how they would discriminate against someone. But it's like, we have to be talking. How do we make this all work for us? Again, going back to our great democracy and everyone holds us to such high standards, but yet we're falling behind. We got work to do. Let's talk. Like, that's our first step. I'm such an optimist. And even I think in the darkest moments of the pandemic and thinking about America, I still cling on to hope and optimism. I do. I believe in us. It's a lot. It's a lot to digest, and when you think about and kind of like dig into the mud pits of it, it's a lot. But I do. I have hope and faith and positivity that we can overcome this and that this can be behind us one day.